If you're feeling absolutely overwhelmed by stress, anxiety, mental, emotional, and physical fatigue, and just overwhelmed with high stress levels, today I'm going to share with you 5 powerful tips to help reduce your stress, to turn around your body's stress response mechanism, to give you back your normal everyday life so you feel much better. And I have a free resource that I know is going to greatly reduce your stress levels just like that. So make sure you watch to the end of today's video. Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Dr. Melissa Gallagher, and today we're talking all about stress. Stress is pervasive. I sent out an email recently and the response, the emails that came through from you patients and consumers of my video and folks that shop my store, holy cow, you guys are highly stressed out. I feel stressed out. Everybody is overwhelmed and burdened. We're coming off of a 2-year pandemic. We're dealing with financial stressors, a slowdown of the buying and selling of homes, and gas is expensive, and it's just a highly stressful time. So today, I wanted to share with you 5 really powerful tips to help reduce your anxiety and your stress overall. This will greatly impact assorted symptoms that your body might be presenting that are anxiety enhancing, anxiety producing, as well as stress relieving. Everybody deals with stress differently. Some people have diarrhea, others have constipation. Some people break out in hives, others get extremely angry and agitated. Others have sleep imbalances, and others have thyroid or hormonal imbalances. However, stress impacts you. These 5 tips will be highly impactful. And tip number 5 is a free resource. I will timestamp all these 5 tips down below in case you just want to get to the free resource. I'm so excited to share with you these 5 tips today. So let's dig right on in. Tip number 1 to reducing stress and anxiety is to remember to breathe. It sounds really elementary, but a lot of times when we are under stress, we hold our breath or we breathe in a shallow form. And that does not relax our body. It actually creates more of the stress response mechanism. It can sometimes trigger the stress response mechanism. So using tactics like a deep diaphragmatic breathing, as soon as you wake up in the morning, before your feet hit the floor and before you go to bed, this is a really powerful way to access a natural stress reducing chemical that is housed right here in the top of your nose. So by breathing in through your nose very deeply into the deep crevices of your lungs, can lower your stress levels. It also lowers your heart rate, and there's certain breathing techniques that I actually share in a free download, which covers all sort of ways and techniques and assorted breathing therapies that you might find impactful, as well as some resources on apps. So I'll include that link down below. Number 2 is to prioritize self-care. And this recommendation sometimes is controversial. I'm actually recommending you be selfish and to put yourself as a priority. Your self-care that is nourishing you, nourishing your soul, nourishing your spirit. Doing things that make you happy, enjoying hobbies and crafts and laughing and really getting those endorphins and the happy chemicals to filtrate through your body are actually going to help relax your body. Sometimes taking a time out, setting boundaries, and deploying healthy tactics to say no to items that don't serve you and deplete you can be very powerful. This doesn't have to cost anything. Sometimes the timeout is just telling your family you want to sleep in on a Saturday or Sunday morning. Other times it might be going to the park with a book, or walking your dog, or smelling the flowers, or planting flowers, or doing a hobby, or hanging out with friends, grabbing coffee with a loved one. Whatever it might be that gives you the most joy and tends to give you the feeling of relaxation and not angst that you've got to do something, then say yes to that and prioritize that. That's really critical. So my 3rd tip to reduce stress, especially lower anxiety and even panic attacks that you might be experiencing, is to nourish and support your adrenal glands. If you are a regular follower of mine, I am a broken record right now. I talk about adrenals and stress and cortisol and the stress hormone all the time. And the adrenals, they are these 2 tortilla-shaped glands that sit right above the kidneys. You can locate them in the middle of your back, and they're going to be the kind of, you'll feel them right behind the last few ribs in your rib cage. If you have chronic back pain or back aches in that area, those are your adrenals and not necessarily muscle aches. Rejuvenating your adrenal glands is critical, and I like to recommend using adaptogenic herbs. Things like holy basil and rhodiola and ashwagandha are my favorites in terms of supporting and nourishing your adrenals. We have lots of really good research that shows these are powerful adaptogens that can help support your adrenal glands. Similarly, your adrenals under stress need more B vitamins. B vitamins are water-soluble vitamins, which means we don't store them, so we need to constantly be intaking them. Obviously, my most recommended form is to eat lots of berries and colorful purple, deep reds, and violet-colored fruit. But also, I recommend these 3 specific supplements for reducing stress. Specifically, Wise Women Herbals has a really great combo of 2 powerful herbals that can help calm the central nervous system. Particularly skullcap, one of the core ingredients in this supplement, has a ton of research and some clinical documentation in terms of the ability to calm and support the central nervous system. Now, a newer product that I like to recommend is the Microbiome Labs. This is a newer product. Now, Microbiome Labs actually taps into a very powerful probiotic that is known to calm your stress levels. So the Bifidobacterium longum number 1714 at 80 milligrams is a very powerful way to support your gut, which in turn will calm and support your neurotransmitter health, which in turn has a positive effect on your stress levels. It also has saffron extract as well as 2 core stress reducing B vitamins. And last and final, you guys know I'm a huge fan of 8 Labs. They have their CBD soft gels that are fantastic. CBD is very powerful at calming the stress levels. It also regulates your hormone system, and we find that it has a very powerful effect at nourishing your endocannabinoid system. It's a body system that controls a lot of your stress response mechanisms. So these 3 are 3 powerful supplements that I recommend. And make sure you comment on this video to get your chance to win this trio. So making sure you're reaching for good herbals and good B vitamins are going to be powerful for supporting your adrenal glands. This ties into my 4th recommendation because I recommend that you test your cortisol. Don't guess where your stress hormone is, actually quantify it. You can actually purchase a saliva test. I sell these with a lot of my patients, and we ship these to a lot of our patients here in the US and abroad. Addressing your adrenal glands by testing your adrenal hormone cortisol and DHEA, those are 2 really key compounds or hormones to test. We can collect your saliva and evaluate where your cortisol is in the morning, lunchtime, dinner, and right before bed. This gives us a broader snapshot of just how impactful your cortisol is to symptoms you might be experiencing, whether it's inflammation or insomnia or hormonal imbalances or thyroid imbalance or swelling. All sorts of things are going to be influenced by cortisol. So testing and not guessing and testing your cortisol is really, really critical. Generally, we can get these labs run and back to you within 9 to 11 business days. So we can quickly turn around and identify where your cortisol is. And once we know if you're too high or too low, maybe you're experiencing adrenal burnout, or you're experiencing a revved, kind of you're amped up and your adrenal glands are just overwhelmed and they're just really producing too much cortisol, that may very well be the root of some of your anxiety. So just know stress, it's not something we think about. It's an actual hormone. And that hormone needs to be evaluated, measured, controlled, and balanced to ultimately relieve and reduce symptoms of stress. So if you're looking to lower stress and anxiety, cortisol is one of the most important values to measure in a lab form. Now, my last recommendation here is a mini course I've created. It's a free mini course to address stress management and to relieve stress naturally. This is something that was inspired by an email that I mentioned I sent out to my community a few months ago. The responses were really, really overwhelming. They were deep. with an assorted layers and layers of stressors that so many of my patients, followers, and community members are dealing with. I sat with that commentary and thought, what can I do to help people? What can I do? I wanted to give you immediate things, tactical things, resources, DIY, self-care that you can do and deploy to instantly lower your stress levels. So this mini course, there are 3 parts to it. Super simple. It's going to take you less than 30 minutes to run through. I give you tools that you can use every day. I share with you how to do these tools. I share with you why they're impactful. I also give you some pointers to really target and nourish your adrenal glands, ultimately calming your central nervous system and overall balancing and minimizing the heightened stress response mechanism that we're all undergoing. The reality, friends, is we are all walking around as cave women and cave men, and our internal mechanisms to deal with stress have not changed. Our world's evolving, technology's evolved. That instinctual internal stress response mechanism has not evolved. So we have to go back to the cave women, cavemen days and really deal with that fight or flight response mechanism that those adrenal glands are controlling. So this mini course, I'm going to provide a link down below. Enroll today. It's open, ready for you to take part, participate. You'll have forever access to that. Any updates I add, any additional video content or bonus materials, you'll have access to. So please take the mini course. I am so excited to hear how powerful and impactful these tips are going to be for you. So here's the opportunity for you to win all of these amazing products. My question of the day, friends, comment down below to enter the chance to win one of these 3 items. I'm curious, out of these 5 tips, which one or more of these do you feel you are not implementing? Which ones do you plan to implement? And which ones do you need maybe more support on, or encouragement, or resources? I'll be monitoring and watching your video comment, whether you're commenting right now as the video is being released or in a few years. I always am monitoring comments, and your feedback really drives our video content, like this video. It's in response to over 300 different email responses of folks just sharing really heavy stress going on in their lives. And so I hope you will take advantage of some of the free resources down below. Click on the link down below. The description box will have everything you need to grab my free breathing guide and also to enroll in my free stress relief mini course. So thanks for tuning in, friends. I hope this really helps reduce and relieve and lower your stress levels. And I hope it also reduces your anxiety levels or the angst that you're feeling, because long-term stress management is really the key to optimal wellness. So thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you on our next video.